The young billionaire found a poor girl hiding in his mansion. Her words changed everything. Genre: heartfelt inspirational drama. Tone: emotional, relatable, uplifting. Theme: compassion, humanity, second chances. Story script. Scene 1, the mansion at night. Soft piano music. The sound of rain against glass. A massive, modern mansion sits in silence. Narrator: gentle tone. It was nearly midnight when Ethan Cross, the youngest billionaire in New York, returned home after another long day of meetings, mergers, and money. To the world, he was unstoppable, a tech genius, a man with everything. But inside these marble walls, he was just alone. He stepped out of his sleek black car, loosened his tie, and sighed. Another silent dinner. Another night in the echo of his own success. Scene 2, the discovery. Sound: footsteps, distant thunder. As he walked through the mansion, something unusual caught his attention. A faint rustling, coming from the back hallway near the storage rooms. He frowned. Nobody should be been there. His security was tight, his staff had gone home. He opened the door slowly. And froze. There, crouched behind a shelf, shivering under an old blanket, was a girl. Thin. Mud-stained clothes. Eyes wide with fear. Ethan shocked. Who are you? What are you doing here? The girl's lips trembled. She couldn't have been older than 16. Girl softly, please, don't call the police. I'll leave. I just needed somewhere dry to sleep. Scene 3, the confrontation. Ethan stern, this is private property. How did you even get in? Girl looking down, the gate was open. I didn't take anything. I just, her voice cracks, I haven't eaten in 2 days. The words hit him harder than he expected. Her voice, fragile, honest, echoed something deep inside him. Memories he buried long ago, of the boy who once had nothing before he built everything. Ethan quietly, what's your name? Girl, Lila. Ethan, and where are your parents, Lila? Her eyes filled with tears. They're gone. My mom passed away last year. I've been trying to make it on my own. Scene 4, a moment of kindness. Rain softens outside. Ethan stood there, speechless. He had hundreds of rooms, kitchens full of food, and yet here was this child starving, scared, and invisible to the world. He took a breath, then reached for his phone, not to call security, but the chef. Ethan, gentle, you're not leaving in the rain. Sit down. I'll get you something to eat. Lila's eyes widened. You're not mad. He smiled faintly. Just hungry, I guess. Sound, plates, quiet music. Minutes later, she was at his grand kitchen table devouring soup and bread like she hadn't eaten in days. Ethan watched quietly. It wasn't pity, it was remembrance. He knew that hunger. He'd lived that pain before the billions, before the business. Scene 5, words that changed everything. After dinner, she looked up shyly. Thank you, sir, I'll leave first thing in the morning. I don't want to cause trouble. Ethan leaned back, studying her. Where would you even go? She hesitated, then whispered. I don't know. But I'll figure it out. I always do. Then she looked him straight in the eye and said something that stopped him cold. Lila, people like you don't usually see people like me. But thank you for seeing me tonight. Those words, they sliced through every layer of success, fame, and fortune. Because in that one sentence she reminded him of something he had long forgotten, human connection. Scene 6, a twist of compassion. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept replaying her words. People like you don't usually see people like me. The next morning, instead of letting her go, he made a call. By afternoon, a social worker, a private tutor, and a lawyer stood in his living room. Ethan had decided. Lila wouldn't be just another forgotten face in the streets. She would have a home, an education, and a chance. But Lila refused at first. I don't want charity, she said, her voice trembling. Ethan knelt beside her. It's not charity, he said softly. It's a promise. When I was your age, someone gave me a second chance too. Now it's my turn. Scene 7, 1 year later. Music swells, hopeful piano theme. A year passed. The mansion that once echoed with silence was now alive with laughter and warmth. Lila had blossomed studying, smiling, helping Ethan's charity projects for street children. And one afternoon, as they were organizing a fundraising event, a journalist asked Ethan, Mr. Cross, what inspired your new foundation for homeless youth? Ethan smiled and glanced at Lila across the room. Ethan, a stranger reminded me that money means nothing if you can't use it to see people really see them. Scene 8, the emotional climax. Months later, Lila gave a speech at the foundation's opening. Her voice trembled at first, but then grew stronger. Lila emotional, I was invisible once. Lost, hungry, hopeless. But one man chose kindness instead of fear. He didn't just give me food or shelter, he gave me dignity. And because of that, I believe there's still good in this world. Tears filled Ethan's eyes as the audience stood, clapping. In that moment, he realized. All the billions he'd ever made, couldn't buy this feeling. Scene 9, ending message. Soft outro music, piano and strings. Narrator, sometimes, the greatest change doesn't come from power or wealth, but from a single act of kindness in a quiet hallway on a rainy night. Because when we choose compassion over judgment, we don't just change someone else's life. We rediscover our own humanity. Title card spoken softly, the young billionaire found a poor girl hiding in his mansion. Her words changed everything.